Good afternoon, Rotarians. I'm Larry Alman with Alman Recycling, and if you don't believe I'm Larry Alman, I can prove it because here's my St. Vincent's birth certificate from 1959. I'm from Little Rock. I went to grade school at Anthony, and we had a really tough class. We had Warren Stevens, Denise Dillard, French Hill, myself, and others, and we caused a lot of trouble. Then after that, I went to public school, graduated from Hall, and then went to Colorado State. After Colorado State, I went in to my grandfather's business, which is recycling, metal recycling, and my dad was taking care of it back then, and I worked there for over 45 years. We've sold it 3 years ago to the Rennell family, and I'm still working. I love it. I love what I do. I have a lot of fun with my Rotary Club history, Club 99. The founding club president was Sidney Brooks. And Sidney Brooks' first call to order meeting was July 6, 1923. And he was the president that year. And the year after that, he realized that nobody took any records. And he thought that the most important position at Rotary would be the secretary. So after that, he decided that he would resign as president and he would be secretary. And he was secretary up until 1952. He nominated his son-in-law, which was Louis Rosen. He later became president. And the connection between those two is Sid Brooks was my wife Jan's great-grandfather, and Louis, who introduced me to Rotary, was her grandfather. So there's a lot of family connection there. So as I said, I have a lot of fun with the history of Club 99. The first history book was done in about 1972, but I have got Sid Brooks' first roster from January 14th, 1914. So as an Arkansan, everybody or a lot of people hunt and fish. I realize that's not very unique, but I do have a unique twist to where I hunt and fish. I go to Crap Acres, which is 6 miles west of Stuttgart. If you take the first letter of the last name, Karchmer, Rosen, Alexander, and Phillips, it spells Crap Acres. So that's how the name came about. And for the last 4 decades, I have had a lot of fun duck hunting and fishing in our 100-acre reservoir and our 300 acres of green timber. So one component of duck hunting is calling, and I have a collection of duck calls. I've got large duck calls and I've got small duck calls. This is the very first duck call that my dad gave me when I was 12. I've got weird duck calls and traditional duck calls, and this particular one is a rich and tone duck call. And this was given to me by, at the time, Governor Clinton. I know it doesn't sound very sexy or fun, but I like to wake up early and I'll do a workout session. I've done yoga for 30 plus years, but I like the morning time because nothing's had time to screw up yet. And as I said, I've done yoga for over 30 years. That's how I have fun. Namaste. I've always had a love of photography. I had my own dark room growing up, and I've seen some absolutely incredible concerts over the many years. And I still go to concerts today. I saw Van Morrison last month. I've seen the Grateful Dead a couple of dozen times. And I've taken all of these pictures with my Nikon F. Johnny Winter, who's passed away. I think you've heard of this guy, George Harrison, Creedence Clearwater, Jethro Tull. And of course, the Grateful Dead. I've seen Santana and Jeff Beck. And of course, you know this guy, Bob Dylan. So I thought I'd tell you the first time that I ever went to Cuba. I went with 5 guys on a boat. We were fishing in Grand Tortugas, which is outside of Key West. And we decided the boat captain was Cuban, and he had family in Cuba, in Havana. And he asked us if we wanted to go on ahead and a boat down there. It'd take another 3 or 4 hours. And we said, what the heck, might as well. And 2 of us did not have passports. I did not have a passport, and coincidentally, the others did. So we boated down there, and we got processed. The 2 people that did not have passports were incarcerated. So I could not get out of the Hemingway Marina for the next 2 days. That's the bad news. The good news is we had pools, we had bars, we had cigars, The only thing we had to do was sleep in a tent, and everything else was just fabulous. But I'm sitting at a bar and smoking a cigar, and I hear this, "Hey Larry," and I look over, and I'll be damned if it wasn't George Eldridge from Doe's, who's a friend of mine. So the next hour we smoked a cigar and had some more beers, and it was just an incredible small world story. But after that, I made another 22 visits or such and really absorbed the culture. I love the rum and the cigars. So as one of my favorite performers would say, it's Jimmy Buffett, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, so I might as well partake. And I'm going to finish off with a Cuban cigar. This is a Cohiba. This cigar in Europe would be over $200, but that's not what I paid for it. So that's how I have fun.